1bitheart might not be a fantastic game, but it holds a special place in my heart, and I decided to make this video after seeing like there's only one review up on YouTube, and I think it deserves some more attention on this platform. Now I'm not going to go into this game a lot since I want to keep this relatively spoiler free. The game's not that long, only a couple of hours, and only costs about $3 on Steam. Now the reason I first played this game was because I was bored one day and decided to go through my massive backlog of games and find one that looked interesting that I could beat quickly by searching on howlongtobeat.com. And this game looked cute, so I thought I'd give it a chance. Good thing I did, because now I can quit my job to make videos on the internet.
Scott!
Hi.
You know you're my nigga, right?
1bitheart was released in 2017 by Miwashiba, who you probably know from games like Light Eat or Alismere, or maybe you don't, I don't know. None of these games are all that popular. I mean, Light Eat is on Switch, but then again, what's not on Switch? When I was writing the script for this video, I went on the recent I went to the recent releases pages on Switch to make this point, and the first game I see is called Succubus with Guns. Yeah, that tells you the caliber of games released on the Switch store. Anyway, 1bitheart is like a detective friend-making visual novel, because we all need to figure out how to make friends in this crazy world, and also to figure out who's stealing all my Chips Ahoy at 3 AM. You play as Nanashi, the supposed agoraphobe, accompanied by his first real friend Masane. I say supposed agoraphobe because Nanashi doesn't have trouble interacting with other people, or I mean, not that much. He can get a little awkward sometimes and say some weird stuff, but it's nothing that bad. I mean, he's like your weird uncle who shows up at all your family holidays and tells you about how he used to change your diapers. Nanashi is your uncle. Nanashi's seen your penis. Now if you're wondering what's on Nanashi's head, it's called a bit phone. It's like if you taped your iPhone, social security number, and birth certificate on your head, and it also reads your brainwaves. You're required by law to wear it, but don't worry, it's completely safe. They have this thing called the master program. It controls everything, and it's like 99% safe. Oh yeah, so the master program starts getting hacked and causing people to start doing stuff they wouldn't normally do, like getting into fights, or signing up for NordVPN, which this video is not sponsored by. Have fun finding another way to watch your Slovakian Netflix dramas.
Tohle je George a takhle ho známe. Ale v poslední době se chování...
So yeah, in this game you pretty much go around, make friends, try to solve the mystery of what's going on, press people for more details, search for evidence, refute their statements, scream objection in court, follow the story of Phoenix Wright, the up-and-coming defense attorney. That's the wrong Wikipedia article. Try to find your way out of the school as the crazy bear tries to have you and all your friends killed. You go through these class trials and oh wait, damn it. Now to me this game kind of felt like both Ace Attorney and Danganronpa. That could just be because I played those games a little bit before this one, but if you like those games you might have some fun with this one. But it's not going to be this perfect experience, like the first time you had Panda Express. Nanashi one day wakes up and finds Masane in his bed, claiming she's from the future and has no memory, and her first order of business is to make Nanashi go outside and make friends, which might sound difficult, but all you have to do in this game is go up to someone and be like, hey, you like One Piece? Yeah, me too. So Nanashi and Masane go out to start looking for friends, and this is where I'll talk about the couple different times in this game. There's free time, which happens right before the next chapter starts, and this is where you can earn bits, buy presents, make friends, explore around each of the areas, or just end it immediately by talking to Masane. Detective time, as I call it, where you go around talking and getting information from people, and talking and discussion time, where you talk to people and use the topics you've learned to keep the discussion going or refute their statements. You have an HP bar, and when you present something at the wrong time, or just something that has nothing to do with the conversation, you'll take damage from embarrassment and game over. You can get more HP by making friends. You know, power of friendship. And how friendships work in this game is you increase your fondness points with each character by giving them gifts. How you get gifts is in Nanashi's room on his computer by playing Tetris or Puyo Puyo. And okay, yeah, I get it, it's Tetris. Everyone's played Tetris. Your dad played it. George Washington played it when he led his men to war. It's just so boring at this point. And Puyo Puyo is fun, but I mean, it's also used a lot. Even Jim Carrey has Puyo Puyo. I just think what they should have done is add a mode where you play Chuzzle. And if you don't know what Chuzzle is, you've obviously never been 6 years old with your only source of entertainment being the PC games made by PopCap that your mom also plays, like Peggle and Bejeweled 3. Chuzzle is a match 3 game. You know the type. There's thousands of them on the App Store, and everyone's played Candy Crush at some point in their life. Also, just look at how cute these little guys are. It's so funny the way they react to everything. I just used to move them all over the place, slamming them up and down, so I could see what different reactions they have. And you can also click on them enough times to have them sneeze all their fur off and look like those really expensive cats. There's even these really big ones who move 2 lines at once, making things a little more complicated. And sometimes random Chuzzles will get locked up for possession. And when they get locked up, you can't move the whole roll that they're on. In later levels, when locks appear way more frequently, and the big Chuzzles pop up, it can actually get kind of difficult. The goal of the game is to get enough points with matches to move on to the next level. That's it. You can actually fail levels too if you can't make any moves. You can scramble the board, but you only have a couple of those. And when you run out, the next time you can't do anything, that's it, you have to restart. It even has different game modes which are all fun. So I'm just saying, 1bitheart could use some more chuzzle. Actually, every game could use more chuzzle. Anyway, after playing either of those games, you get bits, which you use to buy presents. Like I mentioned earlier, this game isn't that long if you're just trying to beat it and don't care what ending you get. But if you want to get the good ending, the game nearly doubles in length, seeing as there are 35 optional friends in the main game, and you'll need a decent chunk of them for the good ending. And while I don't hate this completely, it can become a very tedious loop of grinding for bits, buying up presents you hope people will like, running out of presents, and having to go back to grind for more. In my first playthrough, I spent over 2 hours just playing Puyo Puyo. Granted, some of that was just because I like playing it. But still, I think they realized this when making the game, because if you check the bottom right corner in Nanashi's computer, you get an insane amount of bits, more than you ever need in the game, and it's even an achievement on Steam, so if you're going for 100%, you're going to have to do this anyway. Also, the addition of the love chocolate, which gives each character 20 fondness points, which is equivalent to their favorite item, which makes things easier, but also takes out the fun I had trying to match gifts to each character through the little bit of interaction you have with them, which I did at first, but after seeing how many friends there were in the game, and finding out about the love chocolate, I just decided it would be easier to buy up a bunch of them, which kind of sucks because it takes this part of the game that I really wanted to enjoy and makes it all feel very samey. I still had fun talking to each character and seeing their couple of events, but I feel like this game suffers from too many characters. And while there aren't any characters I hate or anything, there are a couple that are just fairly forgettable and make the game longer than it really should be. I'm not trying to go into this game and rip it to shreds for every little thing it does wrong, because there is no such thing as a perfect game with no problems, and God knows there are some games that I like that are full of problems. And in some cases, the problems can be what make the game more fun or memorable, like Monkey Ball. I recently played through Banana Mania and Banana Blitz, and even though one is a good game that feels like the original and plays well, and the other is Banana Blitz, I always remember Blitz because of how annoying it was, with jumping and boss battles that feel terrible to play, and how I was constantly laughing at it, than I do remembering the solidly made Mania, but then again, nothing beats the baseball minigame in Mania.
Home run!
Anyway, I do really love this game, and it's actually my favorite game I've played by Miwashiba, but I just thought I should talk about my biggest problem with the game before moving on. Like I already said earlier, I thought this game looked cute and interesting, and that's why I started playing it, but I'm not really good at explaining why I like it and what's so appealing to me. And I'm sure no one wants me to go through everything in the game and just say how cute I find it, but I do want to mention the art at the beginning of each chapter, as these are my favorites. Now, I like the art style in this game. I don't really feel qualified to talk much about the music, since I didn't go to college and get a PhD from Deadmau5 in his masterclass, but the music in this game is pretty good, and it was always fun to listen to, like with tracks for Sunset Hill and Asking Akitaka. But yeah, I can't really talk much about the music, so if you want to know what it sounds like, you can go listen to it at www.youtube.com/watch?VeZLIDCLV2Q and find out for yourself. One last thing I want to mention is an experience I had with this game, which funnily enough is kind of the reason I made this video in the first place. Okay, so let me put you in my size 7 shoes really quick. I had just gotten off work after a tiring double shift at my local fast food joint, when I decided before bed to try doing some more friend events to work towards the good ending. When I started doing Masato Kusenose's events, there's a part where you have a chance to answer a question, which takes you inside her house, where you're trapped until you solve a puzzle. And there's some jump scares and it's a little bit unnerving, but watching this back now, it's not really that scary or difficult to solve at all. But I was just so tired in my dark room at like 1 a.m. that this actually kind of got to me a little bit, to the point where it actually took me way longer than it should have to solve the puzzle and get out. And for some reason it got me thinking, wow, I really want to make a video for this game now. And I really love how games sometimes give us those moments, whether good or bad, just make us want to talk to everyone and anyone who will listen, even if it's just about some little thing in the game or nothing special at all, just the game itself. It's seriously so much fun to talk to people about this stuff, trying to explain why it's so special to you. It releases more serotonin than my Zoloft prescription. Like the first time I played Metal Gear Solid, and I couldn't figure out how to beat Psycho Mantis, and then my brother told me to put the controller in the other port, and that literally blew my mind. Or like when you find out in Sonic Adventure 2 you can get depression when your child doesn't reincarnate and dies. Now I know this is a relatively short video. My goal for this video isn't to make some 3-hour-long video essay using a bunch of big words I looked up on Google to make myself look smarter. I just wanted to say a couple of my thoughts on it to hopefully get someone interested in this game. If even one person plays this game after watching this, then it's a success in my book. And even if no one does, I'll be happy that I finally got this done and can stop waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat after having fever dreams about writing and making this video. See you in 2027 when I finally make my video on this game.